do do do. Do 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 do. Daddy's in the building, broadcasting live from many parts unknown. Joining me as always on the sticks, he's that bad dad of COD. You might know him as Muscle V, but we know him as Dixie.
Yo, yo.
And our associate producer and head of sales, the scariest Jew in Jewville, Boo Radley.
Boo Snack.
And our executive producer, the man that shirts have forgotten. He is the Pants Man.
Thinking about learning a magic trick.
Hold off for now. And I am your king of COD. I am Jeeves, and I welcome you to another edition of Call of Daddy 2. We're talking all things Boo and, lying, probably. We'll see. We're going to get to it. Also, as a bonus, it's a bonus drink-along episode. We're going to cover all that here in a minute. But before we get to it, Muscle V, what happened last time?
Last time on COD Daddies, our hero Pantsman was finally able to get back to normal life as the air conditioner at his place was finally fixed. With the zombie invasion fast approaching, the heroes, they decided to talk gardening for the longest time.
Did we start too early for you?
Finally, after all the weeds have been pulled, the heroes discussed their zombie invasion and the heroes built their zombie scenario and how they would overcome it. With no clear winner, the heroes had to wait for Boo to make the final call. Let's see what the heroes are up to next.
Yes, we do need your help, Boo.
Yeah, I was going to say, am I supposed to decide something here?
You are going to decide something.
Okay, sure.
Muscle V, were you saying for the zombie episode? Because I have it. You actually owe us an answer way back to Power Rangers.
He's got several, right? Several answers.
I think I'm just going to have you do Power Rangers because that's going to be so far out of people's minds at this point. Our lovely, loyal fan base is going to be like, I didn't even remember this happened. This is great. So for you, you're going to actually pick the czar for tonight, Boo, before we get into all the things we're going to do. Okay?
Yes, sorry, yes.
So I'm going to present to you the history of the Power Rangers as purported by the three of us. I'm not going to tell you who said what.
Yeah,
You're just going to choose the winner and then probably guess who said what. Does that sound good?
Okay, cool. Sure.
All right. So the first person said that the Power Ranger suits are actually GIMP suits. What's this say? GIMP for kind. I don't know what I wrote here. This was a long time ago. So they're all GIMP suits. Zordon is actually a pedophile. Alpha, or Alpha 5, is a animatronic robot dildo. And Rita, whose name I definitely knew, is just a lady trying to protect the kids, the Power Rangers.
Okay. It is already so clear who said that one, but okay.
And there's, as a bonus, the Zords are just furries that fuck into becoming men.
Okay, yeah.
That's the first person. Does that sound so far pretty accurate?
Yeah, I can, yep, yeah.
All right.
Keep going.
The second, let's say contestant. The second contestant said that the suits are actually just based on crayons.
Okay.
Zordon is Captain Planet's father. Alpha, or Alpha 5, is an animatronic burger.
Okay.
Rita believes that bugles are a sustainable eating source. And that, actually, fun fact, Zordon used to eat dinosaurs, so the Dinobots are an homage to that.
Okay.
Our third and final contestant said that the suits are based on the fact that kids know colors. They said Zordon is just an homage to the Lion King, specifically the scene where Mufasa shows up in the sky. Alpha, or Alpha 5, is a combination of C-3PO and R2-D2. And Rita is a one-for-one recreation of the Wizard of Oz's Wicked Witch of the West. And as a bonus, they are The writers loved High School Musical. They hated the music, loved Zac Efron. And that's why the Power Rangers are high schoolers.
Okay. I have a lot of things to say. So
Okay.
Great.
I'm supposed to pick which one I like the best, and
You're
then I'm
supposed to pick.
guess.
You're supposed to pick which one's the most accurate, because
Okay.
you know the Power Ranger history very well.
Okay. Yep. So I have a lot to say. Whoever said the third one clearly does not know me because they all know I hate Zac Efron. Because
I forgot you hate Zac Efron.
Do you want
Yes.
to take a guess at who said what, or do you want to pick your answer first and then say who said what?
I think the
Sure.
answer first. Have the answer.
This is up to Boo. Boo can do
yeah,
whatever.
I would like to explain to the crowd, to the audience, why I hate Zac Efron.
That's fine.
And
you were gonna go on this rant anyway, no matter what we were talking about tonight.
Well, fuck yeah. So to make a very boring story short, and the only reason why the story is boring is because the other person in the story, what should we name that female? Let's call her Mel Mel. Let's call her Mel Mel.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a nickname. I was dating this person that we're going to refer to as Mel Mel for a whopping 3 days. But during this 3 days, we watched the Zac Efron movie, the one where he goes back in time and becomes his father, or I don't remember. It was 13 going on 30. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I don't know this movie at all.
Matthew Perry's in it. I remember that much.
Yeah. Is it 13 going on 30 is definitely a movie.
Yeah,
I think that's
a female movie.
the Jennifer Garner one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's the thick one.
So I'm gonna look it up while I'm telling the story.
I think isn't it called
basically-
17 again or something like that?
Yeah, even worse than 13 going on 30. You're right, 17 again. So during this 3-day relationship, that we have so many stories from the 3-day relationship, but one of them is that we watched the movie 17 again, and I blame Zac Efron on this relationship not working out. So that's why I hate Zac Efron. So I would not pick the third one.
I couldn't have told you that Zac Efron was your problem with that relationship. That's good to know.
The first one is just the ramblings of a crazy person, but I know exactly who said that one. So I think I'm not excited about this pick, but I'm going to go with the second one as my pick.
Okay, so who do you think who said what?
Okay,
And remember our names.
Yes.
Our code names.
Yeah, because we haven't told the rules for tonight, so please try to.
Yes. The first one is clearly Pants Man.
That's correct.
No question.
The third one, I think the third one was Jeeves, and the second one was Muscleby.
You are incorrect there. You got it swapped.
Johnny!
It was so I couldn't. I just wasn't 100% sure that Muscleby would be able to make that many pop culture references. So that's why I just wasn't sure.
They were all from post 2000, right? Oh, well, not lying.
Yeah.
No, actually, most of them
Not
were
like-
pre-2000, but all of them were. The timeline was problematic for all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good work. So that means my dynasty reign continues, Boo. As you in your absence, I'm now a three-time in a row czar.
This is getting out of hand.
This is I'm becoming the Yankees.
Except for you don't have any money.
Why did you go with like a hockey reference? Because we have the playoffs. You could have gone with Tampa Bay.
Too soon. Very too soon for me.
Oh yeah, true.
Terrible weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so let's we're gonna catch up with you here in a minute, but before you break any rules, why don't we get into them tonight? We're doing a bonus Tuesday drink along episode, just cause really we were feeling it. So Boo, why don't you lay out the rules for us tonight?
Great. So some of these rules are going to be very usual, and some of these are going to be new to the group. So let's start. Let's just jump right in. Number one, and my personal favorite rule that I've probably messed up the most. If anybody says, calls anybody by their real name or says any personal information about them, then you drink. If our players that are playing the game, Call of Duty, whatever it's
Call
called.
of Daddy's the show. As always, it's the show.
Call of our friends playing Call of Duty. If they get a kill, then we drink. If they go a full round, if they go a full round without getting a kill, then we drink.
Yep.
If Pantsman rambles on for too long and it annoys Boo Radley, then we drink. If someone says a prime number, then we drink.
Whoa.
Uh, um,
Oh.
if someone calls it a bomb threat, then we drink. Uh, if someone forgets the day of the week and thinks it's Wednesday because it's a drink-along episode, then we drink. Um,
It is Wednesday though.
drink. If Boo Radley makes it to the end of the show, then we drink.
Oh, that one is not happening.
We started early. You should be fine.
And those are the rules of the special edition Tuesday night drink along.
Awesome.
I just don't understand why there are 97 rules.
Drink.
Yes.
I don't.
God,
Yeah.
I hope in like 20 years someone like listens to one of these episodes and is like, what are these guys thinking?
Somebody's. I mean, we're gonna be super famous then, so
How
plenty
long
of
do you think
people. Will...
How long do you think people have to wait to question what we're thinking?
They really just gotta listen in, which is what we're going for. It's great. Okay. Again, Boo, we're gonna check in a second. We gotta first handle what everyone's drinking tonight in this bonus Tuesday edition. So, let's stay with you, Boo. What's your Tuesday night imbibable?
Yeah, so I have I cannot speak tonight. I have not been able.
You've had a lot going on.
Yeah. I have not been able to go to the liquor store recently, so I'm still drinking my free bottle of pre-made margarita mix.
That was
It
like
is
a
very
month
good.
ago.
Yeah, I have not. I have not drank since the last drink along episode I was on with you guys.
That was. I'd have to go back, but I think that was in February.
Yep.
Was it like the 5th of February?
Yeah.
Ooh. Is
That's
that
a
a
big
drink?
dr-
I don't know. I don't
Yes,
actually know
yes,
the
that's a
time
drink.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot you're an English major. Yes, drink.
I
Actually,
googled them
you know
to
what?
figure out 97.
Drink for that. I can't remember if we've said on the show that you're an English major, so we'll drink for that as well. Okay. Well, go to the. I know that you've got a lot happening, but go to the liquor store at some time. Update your repertoire, please. If not for the show, at least for your palate.
Okay.
All right, great. Pants Man, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm kind of in a similar boat. I'm calling this the leftovers night for me. I don't have like a 6-pack or even a 4-pack of any one thing. I've just got like random beers that I haven't finished yet. So I'm drinking right now my very last homebrewed beer. And then I've got a leftover of the new Polaris one that I had talked about a few weeks ago. And I also have a blueberry maple stout that I've had in this fridge for far too long. That I'll probably crack open in a little bit.
For a little bit there, it was like just going through the greatest hits of your previous drinking episodes. That was exciting.
Yeah.
And then a little teaser for the future.
Ooh.
Has your beer aged well, or is it still garbage?
Well, it's funny. It tastes exactly the same. My neighbor tasted it, and he was so this is his reaction to this beer. I offer to let him try it. He said, "I'll just have like a taste. You don't have to give me a whole beer. Just give me a taste." And it was very clearly like, "I'll try your fucking beer, but I really don't want to drink this thing." So I pour him like a shot glass worth of beer, and immediately he takes a sip. He's like, "This is actually really good." He really liked it. And I'm holding and I had poured the rest of the beer into a glass for me, and I hadn't drank from it yet. And I was like, "If you do want the whole thing, it's right here." And he's like, "It's okay. No." It's really good though. I really like it.
And that was the last time you guys spoke?
Oh yeah, he's usually he's out on that balcony cooking on the grill, hanging out with his daughter. He's always out there. I haven't seen him all week.
He's probably moved. I can't deal with this man anymore. It's terrible beer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love it. Well, Muscle V, how about you? What's Tuesday look like for you?
Yep, Tuesday is a sour beer type of night. Drinking a platform sour called Breezy.
I think you've done that before. I also feel like
yes.
I don't like the kind of beer that is a sour beer, because when you say I'm drinking a sour beer, it doesn't sound like a style of beer. It sounds like you have a beer that's gone bad.
That
Yeah.
is
That you're
what
drinking.
sour beers are.
It's
I
the
don't know if
point.
you've ever had them. They're beers that went bad.
Hmm.
They're just skunked good beers.
It's
Great.
like eating blue cheese.
Which I don't do.
Blue cheese is great.
Yeah,
Do not lump those two in together.
Blue cheese
No.
is delicious.
I was once at a
So is
salad
sour
bar,
beer.
and I poured a bunch of feta onto my. I was so excited for this feta. I threw all this feta onto my salad, and then I sat down and realized it was blue cheese, and it ruined the entire salad.
It was delicious, probably.
Inedible.
If I'm not looking, I don't know if I could tell the difference with which one I was eating.
Oh, I can tell the difference.
They're basically
you mean
identical.
You mean if I put a piece of feta and a piece of blue cheese and just told you blindfolded to try both, you would be like, these are the same thing? That's what you're saying?
No, because then I'd be focused on it. But like if we were just in conversation and someone put down the salad and I vaguely looked at it, I wouldn't be able to tell you if it was feta or blue cheese.
I couldn't tell you by look, but by taste.
No, I'm
it's
saying
not even-
while I'm eating it, but talking, like not focused on the salad. If you were later then to quiz me and be like,
They're very distinct flavors, I think.
Yeah,
I think you would be able to tell.
I wouldn't even clock it. I'm
No,
saying
I
I wouldn't
think you
even.
could.
It wouldn't register. They'd be like, "Did you have feta?" I'd be like, "Probably."
I
Like,
I mean,
no.
if you like both, maybe you would be less. It would be less obvious. But I find blue cheese so nasty.
I think we should videotape you for a whole year, and then we'll watch the results every time we put two different cheeses in front of you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna carry some feta in my pocket and occasionally
Yes.
just kind of grab a handful of it and like toss it at your salad. That sounds more sexual than it was intended to.
I think you'd be a little dissuaded by how I would have no problem eating pocket feta. Wouldn't bother me at all.
Oh my!
Wouldn't phase me whatsoever.
You really are a dad, is the
Yeah.
thing. Your
And then if you're-
transformation is complete.
Yeah, after you did it, and then later you were like, "So how was that blue cheese?" I'm like, "Oh, it was great." So for me tonight, I am drinking. Let me read this. The finest Lawson's Finest Liquids. It's a sip of sunshine, an IPA, and the can really explains the sunshine piece. The taste, it doesn't really taste like sunshine, but it looks like you're drinking out of sunshine. Very bright yellow.
Oh my gosh. I'm just. So you said Lawson's, which I mean, it's obviously a beer brand that I'm not familiar with, but
Yes, I'm
my
not
God.
sipping on pickles.
My God, there is a brand, and it's very regional, so I won't say anything to truly give it away, but I'll just say there is a brand of onion dip called Lawson's. Good God, it is the greatest chip dip in the world.
I guess you can't specify, but it feels like you gave it away.
We can drink to
You
that.
explained all of it. I don't know.
Well, I just mean, like saying Lawson's, I don't think, unless you're from that area, you're not going to recognize what I'm talking about. It probably can't even look it up really, but that is the brand name, and it's so good.
All right. Great. Oh, sorry. What is Lawson's?
It's a French onion dip.
That's very specific. Like, do they do other things or just French onion dip?
So I'm pretty sure Lawson's was like a convenience store chain that got bought out 3 or 4 times. Like, it got bought out by a few different bigger convenience store chains. And because it was so like just that, like every other product Lawson's made, I'm pretty sure was discontinued and lost its way. But like that chip dip was so popular in that where I grew up that every store that's taken over that location or whatever has to sell it. And it's got a container that like its design still like it looks like it's from the 1800s. Like it looks like they haven't updated their marketing in forever, because they probably haven't, because they're just like, well, this is the thing we've been grandfathered in. It must be like in a contract they have to keep selling it, or maybe it just makes enough money that they keep selling it. But oh man, if they ever discontinued it, I think there'd be riots, and they'd be justified.
I don't think you can. You have a contract that says you have to sell this? I don't know how that would work.
I've heard that when Disney bought Fox, they have in the contract that they have to release all the movies Fox was making leading up to the purchase.
In theaters, or
yeah, like if Fox was already producing these movies, they couldn't be shelved by Disney.
Oh, all right. I mean, you can. Yeah, fine. I accept. we could have a very long, uninteresting conversation.
I can't believe Boo didn't chime in. He must have fallen asleep.
I know. Yeah, I think we've already lost him.
I'm here. I'm just letting you guys talk about dips. It's not Boo's time to talk about dips. It's your guys' dip time.
Well, we had a show that desperately could have used you. We went so long on everything. We didn't get to the main segment. We just never made it.
Wait, what was that?
That was the first of Survival Week. That was talking about the AC.
What was the main segment going to be?
I don't remember because we didn't do it.
Huh.
It was I don't remember.
Okay.
Are you guys playing the game? I feel like I've heard nothing from you guys.
We are playing the game. Things are a little different. We're not currently in kill battles because we're fighting King Kong and Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
So
how long does that last, by the way?
I think today or tomorrow's the last day, I think.
Yeah, we're running out of time here. But yeah, so our goals are a little shifted.
So do we chug our beer or drink if you kill Godzilla?
Absolutely. We don't think it can be done. So if we do manage to finish every drink you can see.
Truth.
And certainly if it can be done, we won't be the ones to do it.
Sorry, when you guys edit the episode, will you add in that rule to my list of rules? The one about killing Godzilla?
I've got a strategy.
We can just add a strategy now. Yes.
So here's what you do. Obviously, you're not going to penetrate the thick hide of a Godzilla or a King Kong or whatever. Right. So what you do what they did in that Men in Black movie. You purposely get eaten by one of them and then shoot your way out of their stomach from the inside.
If you don't think I've tried to get eaten by Godzilla or King Kong, you'd be a fool. Of course, it's the first thing we tried.
Look at you with a pop culture reference from the late 90s. Good job, Pantsman.
Yeah, we should talk about what pop culture means. It's certainly not pop culture at the moment.
He said from the late 90s.
Yeah, but it's not a... What if you learn it? If you learn it 10 years later, you didn't learn a pop culture fact.
Well, it would be weird if I was like, guys, I just saw this movie for the first time. Never heard of it before. And did you know about this up-and-coming actor? His name is Will Smith.
Oh, that would really cause some problems.
I heard he's a boxer now. But at the end of the day...
No, he's a karate guy. He only slaps.
Anytime Pantsman has any type of reference, I'm just proud of him.
I am notoriously
I'm proud of you, dude.
Pop culture references.
We are gonna drink anytime Boo is proud of Pantsman. That's a nice yin and
drink
now. Yin
and yang. Drink now, because this is your only shot.
For the record, I'm still mad at Pantsman for not believing me when I told him Heath Ledger died 15 years ago.
It's the opposite. So we don't have to drink for that one.
What's amazing is that little bit of trivia that when Heath Ledger died, you told me and I didn't believe you. That is a story you have told every time I've seen you in person, every time we've hung out, every time we've met a new person that doesn't. I swear, you tell that story like it is some kind of glorious, wonderful story. And I enjoy it. I enjoy that little tidbit about our friendship. But it's just so funny to me to think how often you've brought that up like it's actually interesting. And I don't think it is.
It's probably the thing that you've said the most that doesn't involve me that I've heard you say the most.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, R.I.P. Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you could take from that.
Nothing else to take, really.
Oh, oh. A guy tried to kill me. I got up. I killed him with an airplane, so I think we can drink for that. And then I crashed the airplane immediately into the ground.
Woo!
Sounds about right.
Are you getting any
I
better
don't
at this game?
No, boo. That's not what we're here to do. All right, bud. What you've had a lot going on. Let's catch up with you. I think the last time we saw you, it was 2021. So you were a different person. You've had a lot of incidents.
Yeah. So wait, I thought I was doing my rap first. Am I doing my rap first?
Yes, you are doing your rap first.
Okay. We ready?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. This song is brought to you by.
It's a rap, not a song.
I'm bracing myself in a doorway, by the way.
This song is brought to you by Boo Radley and the Rad Ladies.
Okay. Fine.
That's the name of my group.
We got it.
It is actually to the tune of Guess Who's Back by Eminem. Here we go. Guess Who's Back.
Wait. Do you want a beat?
Do you know the beat from the song?
I know the intro.
Guess who's back? Back again. Boo is back. Tell a friend. I created a monster because no one wants to see B-Rad nowhere. They want Boo, he's chopped liver. Well, if you want Boo, this is what I'll deliver. A whole lot of crazy mixed with some edamame. Because the Boo is here, and he's got it all, and he's going to give you a peace of mind. Because Boo is here, and Boo is cool. So watch the show, and you will see how cool Boo is. Because he's the man.
That turned into a real Dr. Seuss lyric at the end there.
No, it did start like 90s Eminem-ish. Yeah. I'll grant you that. I think it's a little generous. And then it immediately turned into like Rapper's Delight. And then you got really high pitched. I don't know what the hell that was.
Those are the Boo ladies.
It's called the Rad Ladies. Okay.
There's no way Dr. Seuss would write something that light and nonsensical.
Okay, so for my story time, what I planned on doing is I actually have 6 stories I can tell.
That's good. You're going to tell all of them.
Exactly. And I figured you guys can choose a number.
Right.
1 through 6.
That is the number you told us.
We understand what 6 is.
Okay.
Crucially, not a prime number, right? I say without confidence because I didn't pull up. Yes, not a prime number.
You had to pull up prime. It's just things that can be multiplied by other numbers, Dan, except for 1.
If you're asking me to do math in my head,
I mean, I think under 10 isn't really that. Like, that's 4th grade math.
You're presuming a lot about my math skills if you think I can do 4th grade math.
You went to it's not a prestigious one, but you went to a university. You should at least be able to do.
Here's the thing. I was an honors student. I was an AP student. I was a student who went to college in high school. I was a very good student, but I took like the same math class that all the kids, like it was literally like learn how to hopefully do your taxes and calculate interest. Like it was like the most basic remedial math class you could possibly take in senior year of high school. And then in college, I was required to get exactly 1 math credit. And I took like a baseline just above, like you can't even qualify for a math class. Like the most basic math class they offered. Passed and moved on, and I've never done any math since.
All right. Well, fair enough.
Why do you think I love spreadsheets? It does the math for you.
It counts for you. Okay, great. You know what? Pull up a list of prime numbers then.
Oh, I have. It's been
let's
up the
see
whole
you
time.
track all of them.
Back to it.
Again, this whole conversation is based on the fact I just asked you to choose a number between 1 and 6. And that caused a 10-minute rant.
I think we're gonna drink for that. So
yeah.
Who's mad that we haven't chosen a number yet?
You gotta call on us though, Brad. I've been holding my hand up this whole time.
Shut up, drink.
Oh God! The first mistake was from Pence, man. I know
really?
I've been gone.
Man. I'm not used to Boo being away or being here.
Drink for that too. When Boo, when you were gone, Pantsman really stumbled when it came to the mistakes. I think it was just so that we could all drink, but then I also had some troubles. Oh, Muscle V's been the only real rock, to be honest.
Yep.
That's because he didn't say anything.
I mean, it
It's
helps.
funny. I know I haven't been on the episodes in a long time, but when I was on the episodes, I was actually doing pretty well with the names.
You had one good episode. That's correct.
Yeah, big for me.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I'll go ahead and unless you want to, Boo, I will call on people. That way we can have some order.
I don't care as long as somebody picks a number. I don't care who picks a number.
Yep,
Right.
I'll handle it. Muscle V, we'll start with you.
5.
That's
Okay,
the prime
Greg.
number.
Congrats,
so-
Pantsman.
So that's actually great because this story, the first story I'm going to tell, is probably a story that I'm so glad. Muscle V, you're the man.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you picked this one because I wasn't going to originally have it on the list, but it's such a precursor for some of the other stories, so it kind of helps with the framing of my storytelling.
Okay, before you go, from now on, anytime that Boo says "I'm so happy," even though it makes sense here, we're gonna drink because that's a phrase you love to pull out. That's a little Boo bingo for you.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole Boo Bingo episode. I was actually thinking of that earlier.
Great.
Because I said the expression 100%, and I understand what you're saying a lot this weekend.
Oh yeah,
So,
the two good Boo's
Oh my
sayings.
gosh.
so I at the place I work at, one of an events that we have had for many years is what's called the community black parties, and I'm going to tell a story later. I actually happen to be in charge of it. It was very successful this year, but 3 years ago. And you guys have heard the story, but it's been a little bit. I was in charge of operations and logistics because that's kind of what I do, and I deal with problems. That's something I'm very common to do. So the event's going really well. This is in 2019, and all of a sudden they call me on the
Should I stop
walkie-talkie.
you anytime you say an insane sentence?
No, they
How
call me on the
about
walkie,
anytime he uses a period?
and they go, Boo, we need your help. They didn't say Boo. They said my real name, but you guys can figure that out.
Yeah, we
Um,
worked
You
that
didn't
out.
need to clarify that.
so I go up there and I see a woman who has like a bird on her shoulder, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be weird. And I see she has a stroller, so I go up and I go, ma'am, like, my name is Boo Radley. I'm here to help you. Can you tell me what the
Did you
issue
say
is?
Boo is back?
I said Boo is back,
No,
and
I'm
she said,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really confused now in the story because I thought you would have clarified if it was your name or not. But you said you were Boo Radley?
yeah. So I said my real name. So I go up and she tells me how she's mad because they wouldn't let her bring her cockatoos to the event. And what I realize is, the bird on her shoulder is a cockatoo, and in the stroller is 5 other cockatoos that she's been pushing around.
Oh.
Well, I
Um,
don't want to go to any event that can't allow you to bring a cockatoo.
So I said to her, I said, "Ma'am, I'm so
Boo.
sorry. We can't bring we can't bring cockatoos to this event." And she goes, "Sir, you offended my cockatoo. My cockatoo just told me you offended him." And I go, "This is a typical boot line." I go, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry I offended your cockatoo." And she goes, "Well, you need to tell him that." And I go, "Okay." And I go, "Sorry, Mr. Cockatoo, I did not mean to offend you, but you cannot come to this event." And the lady goes, "Thank you," and takes her stroller and walks away.
Okay, that actually is a great story. Oh my god. You should've-
I just love that word cockatoo.
You should have told her that there was a 3 cockatoo limit and see how she handled that.
Oh my god, she probably would have killed the other 2. I really think so.
I also like that only 1 cockatoo was offended. Like the other 5 were just like whatever.
Yeah, they were just chilling in the shoulder. They were probably like, "This is the cockatoo dream life."
Do you think she's like that's her main cockatoo, or do you think she rotates out the shoulder cockatoo?
We had that conversation. That definitely came up. And I think that cockatoo and her are more than just friends. Is my guess.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm surprised to learn that what you told us in the story was not the entire extent of the interaction, that there was more to it. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am.
I do love this whole thing. So did she left or what?
She left the event, and the whole time, and the event, this year's event was on Sunday, which we'll talk about a little later, I'm sure. Um, Everyone the whole day was just like, Brad, is your cockatoo? Oh, sorry, whoops.
Greg.
They were like, Boo, is your cockatoo friend here yet? And they were not.
Yeah. Cockatoo lady. Awesome. And it dead. Okay. Let's see. Muscle V, you chose the last one, right? So Pants Man, I guess you're up.
7. That's a drink.
Drink?
It's also not a choice.
But it is
I
a
know.
prime number.
I know, that's why I said it. I'm going number 1, baby.
Which you could argue is prime, or you could argue it isn't.
Well, it's not on my list, so it's not.
Fair enough.
Okay, so this story up until today would have only been a one-part story, but now it's a two-part story.
Oh, timely.
It's not really the most like fun story, but it's vintage Boo. So it was a Saturday, and the three other people on this call know this, but I'm not a big fan of clothing. So I was not wearing many clothes.
The three other people on this call and anyone who's ever met you.
Correct.
Also, dear listener, I hope you fully appreciate that we've not subjected you to a video version of this call.
Correct.
One of the biggest reasons we can't do a video version of this show is Boo. The fact that he might show up anytime without a shirt.
Oh, you know what? I just added a seventh story.
Okay, great.
I already used the 7.
Sorry. So going back to this.
Drink.
So
Boo, you can keep talking.
I have to drink.
You can drink between periods.
What are these massive gulps you're taking? 2-minute pauses.
Sorry. So
no wonder we don't see you for months on end. You get hammered on one drinking episode.
I'm starting to put my clothes on, and all of a sudden I get a phone call from my security company of the place I work with that we've had a bomb threat.
Sorry, was this? Sorry, was this in the morning? You woke up to this?
No, I mean I was already up. It was 9 o'clock in the morning, and so the place I work happens to be a Jewish organization, and surprisingly, out there, some people aren't a big fan of the Jews. So the place I work with, it's part of a much larger organization, and the place I work with, the version of that in other states, have been getting these bomb threats, and they're just letters. And this one, the first one, was very, very generic. It was basically like, "We put a bomb on your roof, it's gonna blow up, blah blah blah," and it was like the same exact one. Now, most other communities, the cops did not make anyone evacuate or anything. So I get in my car, start driving there. I'm on the phone call with my supervisor. I'm on the phone call with the cops. The cops got there before I got there. I was able to talk to them, but they made a decision to evacuate. So we evacuated the building. It was a Saturday, so that's not one of our busier days, but we still had about, I don't know, probably 2,000 people in the building.
Oh my God.
So the place I work with, we have 16,000 members.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah. So we evacuated the building.
By the way, I got a kill.
Thank you.
So we say thank you.
Yeah. I wanted to drink. I'm not usually this nice.
It's true.
So we evacuated the building. We had to. The cops got there. They were going to bring the bomb sniffing dogs, but then they decided not to, and they decided to do a walk around. So it was me at one point in the whole entire building where there could potentially be bombs. No one ever thought there was. It was just me and a police officer walking around, and I was like, "What is my life?"
Were you holding hands?
We were not. He was not fun.
No.
You just said that holding hands would have been fun.
This is the first bomb threat, right?
This is the first one in this scenario. Yes. My organization has had bomb threats before, but it's been about 5 or 6 years. So after making people stand outside for about 2 hours, we cleared the building. Everyone was able to come in. Totally fine.
Wait, quick question. You said 2 full hours. How many of the people that were hanging out but didn't have to be there like just stayed and waited for the full 2 hours?
So I'll tell you why. So the place I work with, besides being a fitness center and a community center, we also have a 550-seat theater. That weekend, in the middle of all this, was a dance competition. So
Oh.
we had that's why there was 2,000 people in total because 500 of them were dancers. So there was all these dancers in these like dance outfits standing in our parking lot waiting to go back in. Um,
Jesus.
well, yeah, he was not helpful to us that day. Um, so finally, we let everyone in. It was all good. There was
This is
like
not
five.
Jesus' fault, I
There was
assume.
there was like five other
Indirectly, it sort of is, I think. A little bit.
There was like five other JCC. Sorry, it's five other places that I
Drink?
work at.
Yep, drink.
I love
That
he said it's a Jewish organization and then described it as a community center. But we're gonna drink because he said JCC.
That's correct.
drink. Um, so 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 that happened fine. I had to do all these debriefs, all these meetings about it, whatever. It's so weird that I'm in charge of security. It's so weird. So
Yes, it is.
then fast forward to today, and today I'm sitting in my office, and we get another email with a Bob threat, and this one was more funnier than anything. It was titled. The title of it was "Kill the Kikes,"
Oh
um,
Jesus.
and then
Sorry, I keep bringing him up.
it was from killthekikes.com, which many people have checked is not a real website.
Yeah,
Um,
I checked it.
and
I had to see what this would have looked like.
and the whole part of the email was basically like, I hate the Jews and I'm going to kill as many as possible. My favorite part is the email was sent at 5:30, but in the email body it said he was going to blow up the place I work at
Drink.
5:25. So the timing was a little off on that one. Um,
5:25. What a weird time
So
to
my
decide you're
question
gonna
is, what email
explode something.
address? What email address did like they send it to? Like, do you guys have like
just
a
we have a
generic one?
general email like info at JC like reach out to JCC like one of those
He's
on our
literally
website.
giving the email out now.
Yeah, you just
double
I don't
double drink.
you just press a
Also,
button.
for our fans, please don't send any bomb threats to anywhere. First of
Let,
all,
let's be very clear. Bomb threats, even if you're like really drunk, and I don't know, I've certainly never done this. I can't imagine somebody doing this. Even if you think somehow you're being funny, it ain't funny. Just don't do it.
So
Bad
so,
idea.
so the cops come and I'm talking to the
yeah,
cops
do things that are
and
funny. Don't do things that aren't funny.
And someone pointed out that they don't understand how I freak out if we're setting up for an event and someone puts a table in a place I don't want. But when I'm talking to cops, I'm the calmest person you've ever met in your whole entire life. Like everyone
How?
else is freaking out.
What was your calm level reading this bomb threat?
So it's funny. I didn't even read the bomb threat because they sent it to me and I just had to react. I didn't even read it till like halfway through, and someone's like, "It says kill the kikes," and I was like, "Oh, it does." I was like, "Oh, I'm so busy like talking to the cops." Um, so today we just did a walkthrough with. We didn't make anyone leave or evacuate. That this one was easier, but this cop actually like we went when you do a walkthrough, you check every office and stuff. This person made me like open people's desk drawers and stuff, and I was like, all right, let's do it. Um, so that was fun. That's
Interesting.
that's
Really interesting.
So tomorrow I have to sit on a 2 hour phone call to debrief it with the cops and with my supervisor and with this guy from the FBI. I can't wait.
I
I was
don't know
gonna
how.
say, when is the FBI getting involved? Because it
They
sounds like something
are
they'd definitely be involved in.
so the FBI has a division for Jewish organizations, and
Oh
so
my God, really?
we have a
As
connect.
well they
Yeah,
should.
well, it's part of a larger thing about people attacking, like hate groups attacking different things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yes,
think
yeah,
they just spun off extra divisions of those in
yeah,
multiple intelligence
Again,
agencies.
yeah,
as they should. We're living in a fucked up time.
yeah.
Yeah, things
So
are a little crazy. It was a pretty brutal last couple of weeks for all that stuff.
yeah, and then on top of that, too, I think it also freaks people out because I'm sure.
Did you guys just lose Boo, or
Yeah,
did I?
we just lost him.
I thought that sometimes my headphones just stop hearing things. I thought that was what happened.
Nope,
Yeah.
lost him.
Well, hopefully
There
it's
was a
nothing serious. Okay, good.
Yeah, there was a shooting in Texas.
If you were gone for a full 60 seconds, I was going to call the FBI and say you were missing.
Yeah, I was gonna.
That's totally fair.
Anyway, sorry. The checking the drawers. I don't know how bombs work, but like I feel like if you put a bomb in a drawer, it's not big enough to do that much damage. Like it might hurt a person.
We also today, me and the cop I was with today, we were the last ones done. Like we split it. The building is huge, so we did five cops and 5 staff members, and we were by far the last ones.
Well, yeah, if you're checking every
Um,
drawer.
yeah, this guy was a little like he was a young cop, and I think he like just probably had never been in this situation before, so he just wanted to check everything. And like I
Yeah, I
like
mean, you think about like if it's your first bomb threat and you like
yeah.
you miss it, that would be you'd be Debo.
Also, to what extent is this guy just like, I kind of want to see what's in these drawers?
Well, at one point we went into a room, and typical Boo, I couldn't remember where the light switch was, so I took out my flashlight, and he's like, "My flashlight's stronger than yours," and I was like, "Okay, cool."
I mean, he's right.
I mean, I don't want to get into a riff about the police, but I feel like this is the problem with the police. They're on such a power trip; they need their flashlight to be upstaging you.
Exactly. Oh, fun times. All right, so that was number one. So left now is two,
Wait,
three.
should we address that is not the issue with the police? Is that their flashlight is too powerful?
We are not having a conversation about the police. That is
That's
not happening
fine.
on this
That's
show.
fine. But if you're going to say that their biggest issue is their powerful flashlights, I think other
I
people would take umbrage.
was not saying that their powerful flashlights were the problem. I was saying the attitude.
I think you got flashlight envy. That's what I think.
I've got cockatoo envy, I can tell you.
We all have cockatoo envy.
So
right.
so now
Anyway,
I have left
I'm
2, 3, 4,
No,
6,
I know
and
what you
7.
have up. I would like to do 5.
No, 5 was
Drink?
the first one picked.
Drink.
Oh.
Also, you can adjust. I'm picking 5. You figure out what story you want to tell next.
Nope, you have to pick 2, 3, 4, 6, or 7.
Oh my god! All right, I didn't know that we have a real stickler.
Come on, man.
Okay, let's do 7.
Okay. So this, as we talked about this, 2 of my friends, one has been Stocks and Inhaler. We all used to be best friends. 4 years ago, Stocks and Inhaler got in a fight, and Stocks decided not to talk to Inhaler anymore. You guys
talked about it on
part.
the show. You don't have to rehash that.
Yes. So yesterday, the Inhaler sent me a letter that he wanted me to send to Stocks. It was a 2-page letter.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Oh my
god. I'm going to read the letter.
When you say,
yes,
I cannot wait. When you say he sent you it, you mean he emailed it to you, or he sent you a physical piece of mail?
Even worse than that, he hand wrote it and then scanned it to me.
What?
Oh yeah.
That is the worst of all worlds.
Oh, that makes no sense.
I am going to read it, but also
do you guys at work get people sending you screenshots of things they could have just copied so that you have to then write it out?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I have words.
I'm going to read the letter first, and then I will tell you how Stocks responded to it. Are we ready?
Yes.
Never been more. 2 pages. Dear Stocks, it said his real name. Okay. This note arrives about 4 years too late. Although I'm late, I hope you'll consider.
I'm good. If we would just stop right there, I'm in.
Okay. Although I'm late, I hope you consider where this comes from. First, I wanted to take full accountability for behaving in ways that ultimately caused you to not be my friend. Look, I can't.
I'm sorry. What was that? What was that word?
Ultimately caused you to not be my friend.
Okay, great.
Looking back, you were one of the few people that defended me and stood up to others that didn't tolerate my behavior. When you knew me last, I was a major liability to myself and to the others, and to end others with the way I abused drugs, alcohol, and relationships. I don't blame you for being frustrated with me. You always wanted the best, and cordially, I continually failed to deliver. Instead, I took you for granted and thought you'd always be there for me. I didn't deserve your friendship then. You probably are wondering why you should ever give me a chance, and that I'm ultimately a lost cause, not worth your investment. All I can say to that is I miss you. There, there's things that have
What?
happened during this time that I wish you knew about. I wonder if you feel the same way about me.
Um,
I don't expect things to return to the way they were before, uh, before our parting of ways. But it's my hope you'd consider opening the door a little to see what may happen. I like to think I've changed some since you knew me last. You have to see it firsthand to understand completely what I mean. Regardless of your decision, I owe you some thanks. If it weren't for you, I would have not have been motivated to face the music and change. I mean that with the utmost sincerity. In closing, I wish I'd listened to your advice more growing up. You were a good friend, and that was true even when I was not. I appreciate all the years you were my friend, and thank you for the opportunity to grow and face myself. Your friend, Van Haler.
oh my God,
I
so
feel like
many.
I feel like you read that as if this is hilarious and weird and terrible, and it was very like earnest, and it's like I don't know where the comedy is in this.
Oh, I would be happy to fill in. He wrote that. He wrote that like it was like he got fired at work. That's exactly how I read that whole thing.
I don't know what you mean. What does that
there
mean?
there's like these weird like it kind of read like boo. First of all, you shouldn't have read that, boo. But
Yeah, yeah, that was some cold-hearted shit to read that.
it's fine. You read that like it read like you redacted things to keep any sort of specifics out of there, which is
So,
what
so he,
the emotions that were underneath that letter had. Like there
here's the
should have been
thing.
specific things that were called out.
Here,
You
here's the
didn't.
thing. Here's the thing. Van Haler did not just send this to me, of course. He sent this to like 20 people. And
Even oh my god, even
what,
better.
Oh,
one of our other friends, like, said it perfectly. Like, it felt like this was like the last ditch effort to get a girlfriend back. Like, that's
No,
how it read to
again,
me.
it read like a templated version of that. Like you could apply that to many people without having because
Yeah.
there's no
you're right.
specifics in there.
It is very generic. You're absolutely right. He could have copied that off of something on the internet, no question.
He might have sent that exact thing to his boss
So,
that morning.
so wait. So let me close up the story. So I sent it to Stocks, and Stocks
How
responded.
did you email it to him or did you?
The same way I just sent it to you guys. I copied it and pasted it to him
Okay.
from the text. So his first
Wait, did you
response
take a
was,
screenshot of it and send that?
I sent it to him, and he goes, "I'm not reading that." And he
Ah!
told us that he has because he doesn't he can't. There's nothing that Stocks feels like he can gain from it. It's not worth it to him. So he's
Can
never.
you please read it to Stocks like you just did for us? That'd be great.
Oh, I'd be happy to, but I just like he has no interest.
Do you think if it was 4 years ago that it would have been different?
I do. I do because I said to him 4 years ago. I said to Van Haler, I said, "You need to apologize. You need to have a real conversation." And instead, he just would send Stocks weird videos of things, and finally, Stocks just started blocking him.
Uh, yeah, I don't really care about the relationship. We can move on from that.
I feel wait, wait.
We could definitely Dr. Phil this shit, but there's no reason to.
I feel like the one thing that tripped me up through it was yes, it sounds very vague and generic. It also, I think there was a certain level of insincerity in it, and that he's writing it as if he's taking responsibility, like as if he's changed. But there's not really anything to cling to in that letter to actually show any change. He's just saying, like you said, like what he needs to say to get his girlfriend back.
And here's the thing. It also does not help with the fact that you guys have all met both of these people, and you understand that especially the inhaler is not really a sincere person in anything he does, and he's not like Stock said, and you guys would all agree with this. The inhaler is not the most trustworthy person in the whole entire world, too. Like you can't trust him.
Yeah, I could see him getting drunk and saying this exact same thing to like you or I, Pants Man.
Yeah,
Which like I don't know you. Why would you say this to me?
Yes, he got kicked out of a restaurant for no reason.
No, he got kicked out for a reason. He was being insane.
Oh my god. So that was story number 7.
Yeah, once again, you shouldn't have read that. It was funny though. For anyone feeling bad for the inhaler, it's fine. Relax.
I don't feel bad for him. I just don't think that was entertaining.
Well, we'll have to have inhaler on so he can, I don't know, give that pitch in person or something.
I just got 2 kills, by the way.
Drink
Double
and
drink.
drink.
I'm on to the maple, by the way. It's so good.
Nice. All right, Muscle V, what story are we going to next? You have the choices of 1, 5, or 7 to choose from.
No.
You have the choices of 2, 4,
Drink,
3,
drink,
or 6.
Fuck it.
We're gonna go with 6.
Oh, okay. So me and Stocks have a friend. We're gonna call her CBD.
You can just use real names because you make up your friends anyway. As long as it's not the 3 of us or Stocks. I know that you're making up this person.
The CBD.
So this person went to high school and I think middle school with this person. I've known this person for many years. And she's
definitely not a real person.
She's never been the brightest person, and she's always just been a little bizarre. Like
do we know her?
No, you've never met her.
Well, and I just want to jump in real quick to say I think it's interesting. Like, of course, she's from high school because we're the newest friends you've made. Like, nobody in your life is newer than us, and we've known you 10 plus years. So everybody knows from high school. Everybody knows from high school. You know so many high school people.
That's true. And so this person, her initials are spell out CBD, and so she named her dog walking business CBD, and people like made all these comments like, "You named it CBD," and she didn't understand why that was weird.
I thought you called her that because she likes CBD.
No. Like she didn't understand why people thought that was bizarre. Whatever. So she invited me and Stocks to amateur stand-up night because she's been getting really into stand-up comedy. So we went to this amateur stand-up night.
Can we call it what it is, which I assume is an open mic? I feel like amateur stand-up night sounds weird.
Is she the amateur stand-up or no?
So she is one of the amateur stand-ups. So how it works is it's like a random Thursday night, and depending on how many people you get, depends on how many minutes you get to perform. So everyone's between 4 and 7 minutes. So me and Stocks were the only 2 people that came for her. So she only had 4 minutes. And she was god-awful. Like, at one point, we heard someone say, "I feel bad for the friends that she brought," and it was us. Like, she was so bad. And then at the end, I'll talk about the other performers, but at the end, she says to me and Stock, she's like, "If that last joke would have hit, I definitely think I would have won the competition." She would not have. She's a little delusional.
Wait, I missed that. There's a competition.
That's how amateur night goes. It's not. That's why I'm saying it's not an open mic night. It's like an amateur stand-up night, and if you win, you get to do a show. You get to headline a show. So we went, and there was like. Did
I lose you guys?
And some of the people were really, really, really bad. Like one guy, I'm pretty sure had nothing planned, and he just sat there and talked about his shoes for 5 minutes.
That sounds like something you would do.
No, but
was that you? Did you go up?
No. But we're going back to it on Thursday. She's performing for the third time. But her comedy
Wow.
is not good. So her brother died of a drug overdose, and
Jesus.
she kept bringing that up, but not in a funny way during her stand-up routine.
Well, how do you bring that up in a funny way? What do you mean?
She's like, do you guys have a bad day? I had a really bad day. My brother died 2 years ago today, and everyone's like, what the
Oh
fuck?
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that I feel like in a skilled comedian's hand, that kind of a thing, especially with more than 7 minutes, like that kind of a thing could be really funny if you like use it to like really make everybody uncomfortable and then have some kind of punchline to cut through it.
There's got to be
Obviously,
a
this
hell of a
person didn't.
payoff.
Right, this person did not have those skills.
There's no way you could do that in even a 7-minute format to make that kind of thing worth the payoff.
No, so I will most likely not be on Thursday's episode because I'm going to her show. So I will let you guys know how attempt 3 at stand up it goes.
Right.
It's actually
Fantastic.
for our viewers at home, go to an amateur stand up night. It's actually a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
I-
why would you ever do that? That sounds horrible. So
Oh
You get
no,
to at the end you get to vote. You like legit like they brought pieces of paper and you would vote on who you think would win. Like it was kind of cool.
I don't. If you think that the entire selling point is that I can vote on something,
I love voting. You vote all the time. Anyway, I went to an open mic once in Scotland,
Oh,
and
nice.
it was a lot of fun. And the
is that because
host,
you couldn't understand anyone?
yeah, I didn't get the jokes, but no. Actually, I did go one time to in Montreal. I went to a drag show and discovered when we got inside that it was all in French and that we genuinely didn't know what they were saying, but it was still funny. No, the open mic, it
Were you
opened
just
with.
hammered? What do you mean they were still funny? How would you know?
It's a very visual drag.
Oh, okay.
But this open mic night opened with this comedian who was like he opened with a set and then said, "Okay, I'm going to bring out these open micers. Most of these, it's their first time. Be kind to them. Don't heckle them because I've been doing this a very long time." And I'm much better at heckling you. Like it was this great threat that he opened with. Like, if you heckle these people, I'm going to destroy you. And
See,
then at one point in the show, he did. It was wonderful.
I would rather be heckled. I would do better with heckling than just standing up and talking.
Well, you don't talk good.
Right? Yeah. I need the break of someone heckling me.
Get off the stage, bozo!
You wear pants, you idiot. All right, what do you got, Boo? Or sorry. It's now Pants Man's turn to pick a number.
Number 2.
I don't like what you're doing. Please quit it.
I have no idea how much alcohol I've had because I did not rate the alcohol content of my first beer.
You just sounded like a munchkin from Wizard of Oz, so knock
Did
it off.
I?
Now you don't.
So as stated, this weekend I ran a huge community black party. We had over 3,000 people. It was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna interrupt you again. You're saying block party,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna flag that as well. You said block poorly.
Community block
Much better.
party. So
it sounded like you were saying a color.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I was in charge of the event and because it was a big event for the community, I was asked to be in the local news. So they came out, they interviewed me.
You just cut out, but you did say local news. Is that right?
The local news. Yes, I was on the local news.
Okay, that time it sounded more like noose.
And so I got interviewed by
being on the local news is the worst possible case scenario.
I was interviewed by a very attractive newscaster that I'm pretty sure was probably into me, but
oh my god,
she was just busy
because she was asking you questions and showing interest in you.
She just laughed at all my bad jokes.
Yeah. How many did she cut out of the live feed though?
No, that was like beforehand when we were just like chatting it up.
You should totally go with a newscaster though. That would be perfect for you.
Oh, I totally looked her up on Facebook. I got all the details. She's single. But so I was on the news, and all week now, people are telling me how great I was. And I'm pretty much like a local celebrity now. And I did not get a chance to rep the podcast, the show. I tried to get it in there.
When you say you tried to, do you mean you didn't mention it and had no plans to?
Well, I was gonna wear my Call of Daddy's T-shirt, but then I realized it doesn't exist.
Well, you could have worn a muscle T or muscle
I
V. I'm
could
sorry,
have
muscle
muscle
V.
me.
Yeah, must
I
be.
could have
Well,
worn.
no, T muscle wasn't that on last episode?
That was T muscle, which I definitely forgot that it was muscle V than not muscle T. Straight up forgot that when I did that.
But the moral of this story is just that like I'm pretty famous now, and I'm totally gonna marry a newscaster.
Mm.
The moral of the story is you should rep our show, and that was a horrible story.
No, I feel like the moral of the story is that you're more delusional than your friend who goes to the open mic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What are you doing? That's correct.
Ooh.
That's a boo line? What are you doing?
All right. We only have 2 stories left, 3 and 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 5.
Drink.
Drink. All right. Hit me with 4. What do you got?
Okay, so in theory, oh no, that okay. So four is also a very quick story, and I
Just
was
gotta
telling
kill. Take a drink for that before
Oh,
you
yeah.
start the story.
So as you guys know, like I just said, I was on the news. I ran this event. So yesterday, I walked by, and the front desk tells me that this woman called. She was to talk to me. She loved the event. So I called this 81-year-old woman. First thing she says to me is that I'm smooth like silk, which most people say that about me.
You told us
So
that you had to call someone so she could thank you. It was the most upset I've ever been with you.
yes. So she called the front desk, and the front desk asked that I call her because she wanted to thank me. So I called her.
I just don't think that I think she's done the thank you at that point.
So we talked for almost 15 minutes. I was texting
That's a
you
very
guys
long thank you. That's a super
because
long thank you.
she
What?
told me, wait, let me give you some of the highlights of the conversation. Besides the fact that she said I was smooth like silk, we should probably drink every time I say that because it's going to happen a lot.
Fair enough.
And she told me she has been going to fairs and events for over 50 years, and she loves outdoor events. She didn't realize it was going to be so hot. She said I was smooth like silk.
Wait, I want to do a couple
She
pauses. If you said that you've gone to fairs and events for 50 years, I mean that just means you've existed for 50 years. Like, unless you've
yeah,
got
it
a
was
pace included there, that's not a helpful metric at all.
no, it was not. But she mentioned that a couple times. She at one point started giving me feedback on how I could improve the event. That was fun.
You did great. Here's some notes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Now I have a question.
Yeah.
So she said you're smooth like silk.
Yeah.
And then she said, here's some constructive criticism. And did she end with more like, you're so wonderful?
Yeah, she loved me.
Okay. So I now get what's happening here. So this was not a thank you call. This was I need you to make. I've been going to these for 50 years, and I really need you to make this more fun next time. She was giving you nothing but criticism, but she did the thing where you sandwich the negative among positive.
No.
So you start happy.
So I haven't even talked about the criticism. It wasn't, as I said, it was about the event. It wasn't really about the event as much as things that we could definitely not control. It was criticism about the heat, that it shouldn't have been that hot. It was criticisms about it was criticism about that the grass was too high. That was a criticism.
That is in your
grass
control.
ice.
Yeah, why is that not in your control?
Well, it wasn't really that high. No one else said that besides her. And then the last criticism was that that there was a lot of young people, and she wished there was more people her age. And I wanted to say to her, "There's not that many people alive that are your age," but I thought that would be a little mean.
Dude, what the hell?
But she loved the event. She loved the vendors.
Why are you taking so many shots at your one fan?
She bought a lot of items from the soap lady. She told me.
Sorry, she bought what?
There was a woman selling soap, and the soap was really cool. So she bought a lot of soap. She told me.
Why are we just hearing about Soap Lady now? You know that's the most important thing of any event.
First off, there were so many good vendors at the event. I had lots of great people I brought in. There was this guy
Name
selling
3.
plates. There was. Do you guys know what a? Do you guys know what a? Good job. You guys know what a poppet is, right? Like those little like toys that little kids have where you pop it in and it pops out. Those type of things.
Are you talking about a Jack in the Box? What are you talking about?
No, like a pop 'em. They're like pop-ums. They
Saying pop it and then pop-ums does not clarify anything.
Are
Are
you
you
in
talking
a
about Bop It? Because I remember Bop It.
No, I'll get you guys a pick. That sounded creepy.
How about you also explain it because this is a visual or this is the audio medium.
It's like a fidget. You pop it in. It's different colors. You pop it out.
Ooh, okay. So I just looked it up. It's they
Yeah.
sell it at Target. It's
Push
made
pop.
by Entenmann's.
Oh, no.
They're called
donut?
Pop-ums. They're glazed donut holes.
No,
probably delicious.
You push it into your stomach and your belly button pops out.
I just sent you guys image.
I clicked on the very next thing on Google results. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's called Pop M's, and it's a suction craft from Fat Brain Toy Company. And when I clicked on it, it just is a broken URL.
And then my inflatable guy, he brought 6 inflatables, so that was cool. And it was a good day. What? You want me to go through each inflatable?
No. The way you're saying inflatable sounds like it's a drug. Like it sounds like you're saying edibles.
Inflatable guy, like he's a guy who you inflate, as opposed to like a guy who brings inflatables.
Oh, that's funny. Your special friend. Those are helpful though. Very good for controlling little kids.
Yes. But so they were selling one that was 4 feet tall.
Really?
An inflatable guy that was
cool.
4 feet tall?
No.
Honestly, more believable that you'd have an inflatable guy than we'll say Pop M.
I do have 2 wind dancers. I didn't put the wind dancers on.
You have 2 wind dancers. What does a wind dancer sell?
You know those like no. They're like the inflatable things like at car dealerships where they go woof woof like.
Is that what those are called?
You're talking about a wacky inflatable man.
Yeah, they're called wind dancers.
They're not.
Yes, they are.
Who calls those that?
First of all,
wind dancers.
Wind Dancer is a 1993 film about a young girl who is injured by a riding accident. She overcomes her injury with the help of her family and her beloved horse.
I just said you guys, if you Google Wind Dancer, that comes up.
Fansby, can you check 1993? Is that a prime number?
Ooh, let's see. Ask Jeev Singh now. Yes, it is.
Rank. The Ask Jeeves database never lets us down.
I mean, it wasn't Ask Jeeves, but whatever.
Well, I said it, so.
You asked me to look it up.
Well, it's like as a bill.
Which, in fairness, I'm pretty sure that's what Ask.com does.
Right.
Just Googles for you.
No, we don't. Anyway.
Yeah, again, you sent okay, listeners. We have a text chain that we share, and to prove that Wind Dancer is what he said it was, he sent us a link of a Google search result for Wind Dancer as a search term, which, again, still the top hit is the movie Wind Dancer from 1993. Drink.
Was that your drink? Was that your vendor? Were they just pushing Wind Dancer the film on VHS?
No, I own dancers. I own them.
What do you mean you own them?
I mean my department.
I was to say, I've been to your house. You don't own anything.
No, my department.
Wait, speaking of mid-90s bad movies, you remember that movie Fly Away Home about the little girl who helps like geese learn how to fly home for winter? Do you remember that?
I do not. I was born in America. I don't have any idea what a geese movie is. I don't know what you're talking about. Is it a DCOM?
What?
Is it a Disney Channel original movie?
It's a family movie. It doesn't say who. Oh, it has
I've never
Anna
heard of this
Paquin
movie.
in it.
Old Gap Tooth.
Yeah. But anyway, no, it was this movie that was not very good and clearly not very popular and it was based on a true story about this guy who invented a machine it was like a flying gliding machine that looked like a goose, so he could teach orphaned geese how to fly, south for winter. Weird movie.
What's that movie called?
It's called Fly Away Home.
That actually sounds kind of familiar. Now that you've explained the plot.
Here's the thing. My company, this happened years ago. My company, the guy this movie is based on, wanted to buy from us. He wanted to have an account and he wanted to purchase our goods and wares. And because he was so small time, our company said, no, we're not going to sell to you. And my friend who had to be the one to tell him, sorry, no, thank you. She fought it. She was like, he's the guy from the movie Fly Away Home.
Oh man, Jeff Daniels is in that movie.
Yeah.
I'll say yeah. Like, this is a big movie.
I don't know. I remember it very well, but I didn't. Well, not very well, obviously, but I remember it, and I remember seeing it. But I was expecting. I'll be honest. I was expecting a bigger reaction when I said "Fly Away Home." I thought you would know what I was talking about.
No, I've never heard of this movie. I'm pretty disappointed in myself.
I'm like kind of flashing. I feel like the plot's familiar, but I'm looking at pictures. I've never seen any of these screenshots, so yeah.
I can't believe Boo didn't interrupt any of that with "This is pointless. Please stop."
I can't believe. I was just say I can't believe he didn't say how much he loved that movie. That's the most surprising.
I've never seen it. Now I'm gonna watch it.
That's the first '90s film I've ever referenced that you haven't seen, I think.
Yeah,
that's the first '90s movie that anyone's ever referenced that Boo wasn't like, oh, it's my favorite movie I've ever seen.
I think I'm gonna have a watch along episode.
Are you gonna go to the Red Box and get the DVD?
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
All right, maybe tomorrow's episode will be a review with Bo. We'll just go through a Fly Away Home.
Wait, have we never? Hey, is that brand new? Did you just come up with that on the fly, or we've done that before? Review with Boo.
I have just came up with it, but it's a very basic rhyme.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Well, you know what they say about Boo? Boo is basic.
That's right. Okay, so let's move forward. I think we have one story left. So, Muscle B, do you want to pick it?
It's number 11, right?
Drake,
good job. Why is Muscle B so good with prime numbers?
Again, under 12, pretty basic math, but whatever.
Okay, great. So this story sounds more exciting than it is. So I was on my way home one day, and I got an email from the building that says there's a hostage situation near my building, and we cannot come in and out of our apartments.
Finally,
so
we teased this on the show.
Yeah,
you were going to show up, and then you said there was a hostage situation. We said fair enough. I didn't. I said you still should be on the show. But everyone else said fair enough.
I went to my parental unit's house because they live in the same area I live in. And about 2 hours later, we got a message back that the hostage situation has been cleared up. And I did find out some details, but again, it's not that exciting.
Wait. You got to start with this. You said you got a message. You got an email or you got a text?
Yeah, email. It was an email from the office of the apartment.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to interrupt real quick. I'm sorry, but this is timely. So I was watching the feed, and Muscle V, did you just climb into a helicopter, very, very shoddily, slowly go down, just so that you could park it?
Yes, because sometimes it is hard to get back onto the roof, so I want to keep it with me.
Oh my god. I mean, you've never seen somebody drive a helicopter worse. I'm telling you.
I'm actually a pretty good helicopter driver.
You fly a helicopter, you don't drive it, Pants Man. Don't be insane.
I'm telling you what I'm seeing. He's driving things.
That was a fair interruption. I approve. Did someone just join?
No.
He just parked it at a cabana so he could get a margarita.
Yep.
Which frankly is kind of badass.
I heard the bang noise go on, like someone joined.
I
No, we have a
I
fifth
heard that
person.
as well.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Nah, I figured I'd pop in and say hi.
Flying high, talking, flying. We
Yeah.
said fly away home, and you showed up.
Yeah,
I
no,
told you I wasn't going crazy. I knew something else was going.
Oh,
Boo,
I
you
know.
are going. Boo, you are going crazy.
I
Good
figured I'd
news.
fly in and say hi.
Welcome back, buddy.
Always a good time to drop in here and say hey and see how it's going. How's it going tonight?
This is starting to feel like it was planned that we just keep interrupting the hostage story, but we're going to interrupt for a little while longer because I now need to know the saga of what happened with your super cheap, super sketchy air conditioning fix.
Yeah, I want to hear this as well.
Oh, it's still super cold in here. It's fucking great.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
So $25,
it-
huh?
$25.
So
He charged me.
how'd this go?
Okay, in disclaimer, he charged me 25 for the part, 25 for labor, coming here twice.
Yeah,
See,
nobody's mad by that fee. Again, if this was anywhere else, it'd be like $1,000.
And I threw him a $100.
Great.
And I was actually gonna text him tonight and be like, I appreciate you so much.
This is not a thing you should be texting your HVAC man.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. We have a thing going now.
So, Boo, while you were gone, as you know, Pants Man's HVAC was out, or his AC was out, and Flying High crashed the party last drinking episode. I don't know how you knew Tuesday would be a drinking episode again, but
He could have been listening to the episode.
No, he actually texted me ahead of time. He said he asked me when the next episode was.
He's like, hey, tonight. I'm like, oh, bet I'll poke in.
Anyway, so Flying High's AC was also out the same day, and then we found out that Pants Man was never going to get his fixed, and Flying High was going to have to pay $25 to get his fixed like that day. So anyway, how long did it take you to get it fixed?
Flying High.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
You're the one we're talking to.
Yeah, we
Oh,
know
sorry,
Pants
sorry,
Man's
sorry.
story.
I thought I was it. Oh, I was not in the. So mine's fixed.
But
He
when?
fixed it the following day.
Nice.
Oh, really? We thought when he went home and there was rain, he was not showing up for at least a
Oh,
week.
that's right. I forgot. I apologize. Yeah, no, he came back the following day at like 3:30, and it was fixed by 4.
Wow.
So when it was like 90 degrees out, it was like 65 in my house. It was fantastic.
And how long had it been when you first contacted him?
So he had surgery.
Roughly.
It was 2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks and he had surgery in between that time. Is that
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah. So he was out on leave. So he's like, "Hey man, I just got out of the hospital." He goes, "I had some surgery." He goes, "It could be a couple weeks." So I sent him a text, a 2 weeks follow up. He showed up that day, and then the following day is when he had it fixed.
All right, Pantsman, you have AC now, so you're a rational human again. But how mad are you anyway?
Oh, I'm livid. So, not only do I mean, I didn't have to pay anything to get mine fixed. Because I'm a renter.
You would have happily paid $50 to get it fixed way sooner.
Oh, I would have dropped a hundo, no question.
I feel like dropping $100 was the nicest thing I could do for the guy. Like, I mean, he.
Oh yeah, no, you made the right move. You want to keep him on your good side.
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
But here's what happened. So I get mine fixed. Everything's good. Although it's been so cold since that I haven't actually turned it on. But here's the thing. For those days that I didn't think to turn it off of cool. Like, I left it on as if it was actually working, even though it wasn't doing anything. Didn't really think about it. Just thought, like, well, leave it on. Well, I got an email today from my electric company saying, hey, just so you know, your electric bill's on track to be a lot more than normal. I'm pretty sure that even though it wasn't actually working, by having it on, I think it was still drawing power as if it was.
Oh
so,
my God. Worst case
that
of
sucks. Yeah, worse. So I might have spent more than 50.
all. Do you know what the price is, or they just told you it's going to be high?
They said it would be. I think the email said you're on track for this to be a $65 month. Normally it'd be like a $35 month.
Oh, all right. That's
I don't have a
funny.
very big place, so it's not like I'm draining a lot of power or spending a ton of money. Like, not crazy, but still, like it basically doubled for 3 days. And I don't know if that's what caused it or what, but that's my best assumption.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I got that email from my electric company, I don't think they would send that, but if I got that email, I'd be like, oh fuck, we have to sell the house.
Here's the thing. I think what happened was because I turned it on cool, even though cool didn't do anything. The system was like
better, right?
The system, well, yeah, well, it seemed to make sense to me. And then the system was like, okay, we got to get it down to 70 something. It's currently at 80 something. Let's just run until it cools down. But of course, it never cooled down. So they just kept running and running and running. Like if the air conditioning was actually on, it would be intermittent. It would just kick on when it needed to cool off a little bit. But because it was running basically nonstop and not doing anything, I think it just drew a shit ton of power for no good for anybody.
Well,
we're gonna experience the end of the world through global warming about 60 seconds sooner than it should have happened because of me.
So the fan was still running though, right? Even though it was no AC.
We knew that.
And the fan isn't a big deal. I don't think that's gonna draw that much power. And I could have turned it on fan only, but I left it. The crucial mistake was telling the electronic part, go ahead and stay on cool, but not having a mechanical device that actually accomplished any cooling whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's you probably should have turned it off.
It's like I opened the fridge door and just was like, that works. That'll cool the place.
It's like you ripped the fridge door off and then just didn't gently put it back on.
Yeah. Just terrible.
Okay. Flying High, we're going to catch up with you again in a minute. Boo, why don't you finish your hostage story?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not a great story. So,
well, we're still going to interrogate it like you're a hostage. Let's go.
Yeah, so we got the email that the building was all clear, and so the next day I went back.
I would bring me into that moment. Like you got an email saying there's a hostage situation in your building.
No, it wasn't in my building. No. It was near my building. It was in
I didn't realize that.
No, yeah, it was not in my building. It was near my building, but they had to barricade it because it was right next to. So I got the email. I guess I don't know. That stuff doesn't even concern me or bother me. I was just
doesn't bother you.
Give me a break. No, you texted us, even if you weren't like upset by it, you clearly clocked it as a thing because you texted us all immediately.
You also didn't end up on the show.
I'm not saying that because I was at my parents. I'm not saying that.
Your dad would have been great on the show. We would have loved to have met Papa Boo.
In fact, I think we should. Can you give us his number so we can invite him the next time you don't show?
Sure. So when I got back to the place, I found out it wasn't really even that exciting. It wasn't real. I mean, it was a hostage situation, but it really wasn't. It was more of a domestic issue.
Your town is so fucked up that a hostage situation isn't that exciting.
Now wait a minute.
I went to Google it to try to figure out if you were even telling us the truth. There's so many hostage situations came up in your city that it was hard to parse through them.
Now I have a question. So was this about?
Whoa, come on. What do you mean a lot? There's probably 3 or 5 a day, 3 to 5 a day where I live. That's not a lot. I guess I grew up with it. Maybe that's a difference. Maybe sometimes you guys I say crazy things and you guys are like, what are you talking about? I'm just used to that. I'm used to the news being all about crime. Our local news is just crime. It's not like puff pieces. It's just crime.
Now you said that this hostage situation, it took place either next door or really close to your building. Now what I'm wondering is, do you live really close to a Popeyes? Is that what happened?
First off, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Popeyes. And second off, there's not really that many Popeyes near us.
That's a shame.
There's a Popeyes about 4 or 5 miles away from me. But so it was just a couple, and the wife tried to leave, and the husband would not let her leave. So he tied her down and put a gun to her.
So I mean, obviously not.
Jesus.
Great, but is that a hostage situation?
Whoa. Okay, back the fuck up. You can't just gloss past that as obviously that's not great. What are you talking about? That's horrifying.
It's not. I said it's not great. You don't want that to happen, but I don't know if it's a hostage.
What would you describe her as in that moment?
I don't know.
If you can't leave a situation and you're being forced to stay, I'm pretty sure that's a hostage situation.
You're like the guy who says you can't rape your wife.
Well,
hey.
that's actually kind of the angle I am going with it, right? Like, if there's no,
Whoa.
if here's no, no,
Whoa.
sorry, let me finish the thought. If your significant other isn't the one pulling to get you out, like who's on the other side of the hostage team? Who are you negotiating with?
What are you talking about?
I'm
What
so
are you
confused.
actually talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
On another note, the Pittsburgh Steelers just announced their new GM.
No, we're not. No, we're not changing the subject to fucking sports. No.
Well, actually, flying high's on, so we are definitely going to be talking about sports and
we
crime
can
in a minute.
absolutely do that.
Yeah.
But for now, I need to interrogate this because are you saying that if a woman who is married is being held hostage by her husband, you're saying that there's nobody that could be in her life that could want her out of that hostage situation except for the husband?
I don't know how you'd find out. If you say that your boyfriend was visiting.
Yeah.
I guess this is probably a bad example because at some point he'd have to go back.
Let's use you. So Little Fuse has been taken hostage, right? You're upset. You're obviously mortified. You're horrified. You're worried. You're scared, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't want her to be held hostage. You don't want anything bad to happen to her, right? So, of course, you, the husband, are worried for her. Are you saying that you can't imagine there's anyone else in her life who would equally be going, I kind of hope she pulls out of this thing?
No. What I'm saying is, like, I don't even know how other people find out if it's all in the home.
Okay, that's a very different thing than I was hearing.
Yes, that's very different.
Well, I'm still formulating my thoughts.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I'm really glad I pushed through because I feel like I'm not the only person listening to that really clocked what you were saying is much worse than it was.
No, 98% of the people listening will be like, yeah, I was with Jeeves the whole way.
I hope not.
Why not?
Because what you said was crazy.
I was still working out the words.
Flying high, you gotta dig us out of this.
No, I want to get that. Wait, before that, I do want to figure this out. How did anyone find out that this husband took this wife hostage?
That I don't know, and I don't care.
How do you not care? It affected you going. It affected you going home. Because I care, and it didn't even affect my life.
Because it got reconciled. I don't know.
How did it get reconciled?
I really don't know.
How does none of this interest you? Like, why? It could easily happen tomorrow for all.
So I've got a story I can tell that is interesting, and I feel like
you're not from a crime-ridden city. How do you have a segue based on this?
Well, so this is sort of in the same vein, but it's one that has a very happy ending. So I feel good about telling you.
Oh my god! Segue into flying high stuff next. Can't wait.
So this friend of mine in high school, she was a little older than me. She was already in college. She had a boyfriend who was a total piece of shit, just a drug addict and a loser. And they lived together. And she's one of these people that just can't be single. Like, she just is not going to be single. She has to have somebody she's dating, which is her flaw. So she would stay with him and literally just like start to date other guys until she found somebody, and then she'd break up with him.
That's not the same. Wait, holy shit. That is a totally different thing than saying she can't be single. Looking for new prospects while you're still with someone is very different than you break up with someone and immediately find a new boyfriend. Those are very different things. I know a lot of people that can't be single that aren't looking while they're still in the relationship. That's
what
crazy.
I'm saying she wasn't willing to end a relationship until she had a new one lined up.
That is a totally different. That's almost. I've never heard of that. That's fucking crazy as hell.
Oh, it's very toxic and crazy. But anyway,
and I get like, there's plenty of people that are like, I need to be in a relationship. I will settle for whatever I find first, which is still like maybe a character flaw.
Well, let me tell
someone
this
else
story.
In a relationship is fucking crazy.
Look, I'm not arguing with you. I agree with you on every point of that. That's not the point of the story. That's just the setup.
All right.
So she comes we work together. So she comes into work one day and she's like, hey, she's very visibly shaken. she was held by him at gunpoint. And she's telling this crazy story about how he was threatening he had a gun, which is bad enough. He wasn't technically threatening her.
I was gonna say, we should react more strongly, but like I'm so anti-her at the moment. You need to give me like a second to breathe between telling those two facts.
No, I know. He was threatening to kill himself if she left him. And so it's crazy, and everybody's like, "You're not going home tonight. Like, you can't be around that. Like, you've got to get away from this. Like, clearly this is toxic. He's toxic. Everything's bad." And we agree. Like, she was also toxic in her own way, but not.
Could you imagine how many boyfriends she was trying to get that night?
Oh my god!
Again, you should have told me these two facts back to back.
So she stays the night at somebody's house, and then. Literally, and this is where this like toxic impulse of hers to can't be single. Like she went back and lived with them for a while, which like, there are people that are like in an abusive relationship where they feel trapped and maybe they even have that Stockholm syndrome. This was not that. This was not a trapped woman who had no options, who felt like she had to go back. This was a woman who literally was just like, well, it's either not have a boyfriend or have a psychotic boyfriend. So she chose psychotic until she found something else. And
your definition of character flaw is way off base. Holy fuck.
So, I mean, everybody was just like, Jesus Christ, you've got to, like, what are you doing? I remember having we went out one time and we were driving, and I remember I literally had this, like, heart to heart with her. I was like, you've got to stop. Like, this is not good for you. It's not good for him. It's not good for anybody. Like, you're going to get yourself killed if you don't, like, get the fuck out of this situation. And she's like, you're right. I'm like, yeah. And then
we shouldn't dig into this too hard, but it'd be one thing if she was like, it's hard to get out of this. He's, self-harming.
Nope. That was not it. It was not like she had no real qualms about dumping him like a bad habit once she had an opportunity to. And she had no like it wasn't out of loyalty to him that she stayed. And it wasn't out of she loves him and it's just, hard to leave. It was literally just, I honestly think it was literally just, I don't have anybody else. So sticking with this for now.
That's
that's terrible.
like an Always Sunny character. Like, this is crazy.
I know. Oh, her life. Oh, she told me so many stories. I mean, granted, like, knowing her past, she had a very unstable upbringing. So, like, she's lived an It's Always Sunny life. The craziest part is that I said it had a happy ending. She is now married with a child. Wonderful guy. Basically a happy, like, fairy tale ending to her life so far. Like, she's not in and of itself. Like, she's not entirely toxic. It's not like she's like, I doubt very much she's with her husband and like looking around for somebody else. It's literally like she's happy with her husband, so she's happy. But if the husband relationship was ending, she wouldn't let it end until she found a new guy.
Yeah, do you remember when we were talking about stand-up and saying something that's a bummer and then hoping it has a good payoff?
Vaguely.
Yeah, that was this fucking story. Were you knocking off over there? Jesus Christ. It was a happy ending. Not really.
Well, she's fine. He probably killed himself. Everybody's happy.
So, like,
it's a classic for now.
When that relationship ended, like, did she hear anything from that guy, or was it just like, I don't care what happens to him?
The last I heard about it was, he was so on drugs. And again, I was in like high school, college at the time.
Will you stop talking about this goddamn story?
Yes.
You could have just been like, I don't know.
So I'm gonna finish it. Last I heard, it was we thought this was very funny at the time. In hindsight, it's actually really sad.
Jesus Christ.
We found out that he was like sucking dicks for money to get coke.
Oh my
What the
God,
fuck?
man.
What?
And so wait, do you still talk to this girl?
She's like a Facebook friend at this point. We haven't really talked in a long time.
But so she doesn't work with you anymore?
No. This was literally a high school job.
I
Oh.
can't emphasize this enough. When you said this story has a happy ending, you meant
I
literally.
meant she has a happy ending.
Oh my god. She's not the only Always Sunny character, buddy. Let me tell you.
Does she
No,
still...
stop. Can we not ask any more fucking questions about this terrible story?
I would like to know, is she in a relationship now, Pantsman?
She's married with a kid, yeah.
Oh, you passed out. That's right, Bill.
No, I knew that part. I wasn't. You never said if she was still with the guy that she was actually married to.
Yeah, Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the... She could be having a boyfriend on the side.
Honestly, God,
He did clarify that, but it is honestly a fair question.
From everything I've heard from her, I genuinely think she's in a genuinely like healthy, decent, quality relationship. I think her toxic relationships only existed because she was willing to tolerate them because they were there. Like I really think that was the extent of it.
That's what toxic relationships are. Okay. I want to move on. I wish I would have segued hard from happy ending. We're already talking about bummer topics, so let's get into it. Flying high. Are you with me? You still here, buddy?
I don't know if he is. Oh, he is still on.
Does he know his code name is Flying High?
Oh, you don't...
It depends how much he's had to drink. If he's had 12 Keystones, maybe not.
He's muted.
Flying high!
He's probably getting yelled at by, what do we call it? Melissa?
Melissa, yeah.
Melissa's probably pissed.
She really hates that nickname.
Oh my god. Fucking Menagerie of Cans. Get out of here.
Yeah, I hope Menagerie of Cans shows his face again. All right, anyway. Boo. Anything else you got to cover from your time away from us?
Oh, I'm glad to be back, and it was a fun episode.
It was a fun episode. This episode? Are you already calling it?
It's been a fun episode so far. Does that make you happier?
Yes, I thought that was your sign off for a second.
Do we think this is going to have a happy ending?
No. I don't think you know what that means.
I like that this episode had no real plot to it, but it worked out great.
Well, we didn't know what kind of chaos you would invite. So we had something planned, but we're gonna punt it for later.
I feel like as much as you hated that story, I feel like it was on theme for what we've done so far tonight.
We've gotten much better at telling stories on this show as well too. We weren't so good at it in the beginning, but we got it much better.
I think Jeeves disagrees, at least on my end.
Well, no, you told the story fine. You set it up like a fucking maniac. That's all. Well, here's a great story that everyone will go home and feel great about. All right.
Well,
so
I don't know if you've had this
for drugs.
No, wait a minute. I don't know if you've had this. I know I've certainly had this in my life where when I was younger, there were things that happened to me or stories I heard, things that I like reveled in, thought were hilarious or just really interesting, things that I really like. There are stories I remember telling with glee that now I've occasionally like they pop back in my head and I'm with a group of people and I try to tell the story because I'm like, oh man, this is a great story, and I start in on it. And then I'm slowly realizing how awful it is. Like, it seemed funny at the time, but man, did it not age well. And now I have to find a way to, like, finish this story without everybody thinking I'm just the biggest asshole in the world.
Yeah, okay, I totally hear you, and yes, we've all been there. This story was not one of them. Come on, Pants Man. There was never a time where you reveled in that story.
No, that's probably... I will defend that.
Well, I'm not saying...
As a high schooler, yeah, you could think all of that's funny, not understanding life's consequences.
Right.
Wait, that she wasn't dating the guy when you were in high school, was she?
Yes.
She wasn't. Yeah.
She was. What? She's older than me. She was not in high school. I was in high school.
Yeah.
She was a college student. I was a high school student.
Okay, I understand that part. I thought you guys were the same age. Okay.
No.
Even still, so once you go, oh, I've got a great story. That's a good time to reassess if it's a horrible story.
Did you work with this person when you were an artist?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We were artists at the time. She was the assistant manager.
The assistant artist.
I think I told this
manager
story on the
voted.
show. I think I told the story on the show about how I convinced my assistant manager for the place I worked in high school that a mutual friend of ours had a tail.
Yes, you did tell
This
that
is the
story.
same woman. This is the woman I fooled into thinking this person had a tail.
Is this
Now I feel
person
worse about that story.
is she still an artist?
No. I don't know what she does, to be honest.
She's had a hard life. Will you leave her alone?
Hey, I didn't read her very private letter
It's
that
true.
she sent to 20 people.
Do you have any letters from her? That would be great.
No.
Does it only have intimate details? That doesn't have any intimate details, but seems like it could.
It seems like it probably should, but somehow doesn't.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. When I tell, because I will tell the person who said, I will tell the inhaler that I read the letter, and he will think it's the biggest compliment I've ever given him.
Yeah, sure. Tell him.
Well,
that he wrote a good template, and that he should really fill it in with personal info.
That is evidence of how insincere the letter is. That
Yes.
he instead of being mortified that his bearing his soul has been revealed unfairly, he would be like, "Oh, good. You liked the writing. You wanted to show it off. Great."
Well, can you bare your soul to 20 people? I don't know if that's a weird amount.
I actually think when I tell him that, he'll probably be like, "That's probably the only way that Stocks will hear it." That's probably how he'll respond.
Yeah. I think if you choose 20 people to dish out something to, I think you can tell that that's a bad number. You're either sending it to the entire world or you're telling exactly one person, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I've long held that there's no such thing as a secret if more than just you knows. Like if you've told more than if you've told anybody your secret, you don't actually want it to be a secret. You want people to know.
Of course.
Well, that's interesting. You don't think two people can hold a secret?
I think it is functionally possible for two people to know a thing that they never tell anybody else. I think that's possible. I'm saying that if you reveal to anybody, no matter who it is, if you reveal something to somebody else, you're doing so because you don't want to hold it by yourself. Now, you may be mortified to find out that they spilled the
obviously
beans.
You want to tell somebody.
You might be mortified that suddenly everybody knows this thing you thought you were telling one person. But I think that is the risk you're taking by telling one person. And you know that doing it.
What are you... I'm kind of lost at what you're getting at. What are you... obviously someone else knows it.
Pants-Man is saying that, like, if you tell one person and they tell, like, other people, like, you can't be... Yes, you could be mortified that secret came up. You can't be, like, surprised or shocked at that.
Yeah.
If you entrust info to one person, I think depends on the person, depends on the situation, but there's a very reasonable chance that person won't tell another person, especially if it's just one.
I think that's fair to say reasonable, but you also can't be surprised if they do tell someone else, because it's just like you can't be shocked at that kind of thing. Because
if I told my wife right now, if I told Lilfuse something and said I don't want you to tell anyone, there would be an expectation she wouldn't.
It's expectation and shock are two different things. Yes,
I would be shocked if she revealed that.
Okay, I just that's the I don't know. It wouldn't shock me. Nothing shocks me like that.
Yeah, that's because you're from a crime-ridden land and you don't know the
Fair enough.
normal rules of engagement. I want to explore that way more. We don't have time tonight.
Yes, that's a teaser to another day.
Yeah, that's a good lead into your liar segment that we're going to do at some point. Teaser for. Do you have a random date you want to give us to tease that for?
August 12th. No, that's a Friday. August.
How do you know that?
I'm really good at days of the week.
That sounds like something you would be good at.
Yeah, August the 17th.
Okay.
Right. Love it. Flying High, did we get you back or did we lose you?
I'm here.
So Flying High, how do you feel about the new Deshaun Watson information that we found out this week?
I'm for it.
Oh no! What?
What's the new information?
There's been some of the women have testified, and oh boy, it does not look good. You should absolutely not be for
the
it.
testimony, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
It's funny you say that, but I saw today that he might only get 4 games.
wait, what,
So I don't.
how did we get? We lost Flying High, but we got the what is that? The Jack in the Box from the Misfit Island. Island of
No
Misfit
one
Toys.
wants to play with me.
That's
All right.
like a bang-on impersonation of that. Okay, we'll go on before Boo loses his mind. We'll go on and get out of here.
Let's do it.
Thank you. Why don't we lead off with you, buddy? What do you got for us?
Is a leprechaun really a leprechaun if you never see it in the light?
I think you've already said that one.
Okay.
Okay. Pants Man?
Silver and gold.
Is that what Flying High would say, or is that what you would say?
I'm doing what the Misfit Toy would say.
All right, what would Boo say?
That's a good Boo impersonation.
We do one every time you're not on it. I swear to God, it sounds like what you would actually say most of the time. Muscle V, what do you got for us?
I actually got nothing.
That perfectly encapsulates you this entire episode.
Yeah, you were a little absent, buddy.
Can next episode just be Muscle V telling stories?
Yes, absolutely.
Muscle V did this entire episode. You're going to listen to this tomorrow. You tell us if I'm wrong, but I'm going to say it right now. The only thing he said the entire episode, other than his recap, was prime numbers that he could say to get Boo to tell a story. That's it.
Yeah, it was great, actually.
I will be surprised if you clock over 12 words outside of your recap, but we'll see. All right. Anyway,
I was shooting for 11.
Hey, Drake. All right. I want to thank all of you for sticking with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed a bonus drink along episode. We'll have to figure out if we're doing a drink along tomorrow. I have no idea. We'll talk it through. We'll see what everyone's up for. We'll see how hammered we all got tonight. But either way, we appreciate you sticking with us. And, we just want to remind you that sometimes Boo isn't here and sometimes he is. And when he is, chaos ensues. Chaos and booze. God, Daddy's out.